Hello everyone, this is Aegis, and here's a game between LiquidHuK and his opponent is going to be a HairyZenith. I haven't actually heard of this player, but he is going to be playing as the blue Zerg player, LiquidHuK of course, as the red Protoss player. This is Metalopolis. I believe this was in ladder because if you see here there are no observers, so I'm just gonna guess that this was on ladder. And before we get into this game, I have some I guess announcements to make. I'm gonna be trying to play another King of the Hill game. If you did see that in my channel earlier on, you can join that next week. I believe it's gonna be on Thursday. I'll have more information out on that real soon, so you can join us on bnet, play some King of the Hill, and I'll cast all of those games and put it up onto YouTube like last time. So we should be able to have a lot of fun with that. If you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, yeah, just join me on Battle.net. I believe the channel will be Aegis King of the Hill. So basically, Aegis space KOTH. I think the KOTH is capitalized. I'll have more information down in the information box below, so that you can check out what's going up. And there's this probe kind of having a little bit of indecision over here by HUK. Gonna be moving around on the map. It looks like HUK is going for a 14 gateway. Gonna be throwing that up right now. And we're gonna see HUK's probe gonna be throwing down a pylon over here, gonna be blocking Zenith's expansion over here. That's gonna be quite annoying for Zenith to deal with. HUK is gonna come over here and do some mining in the main of his opponent, gonna block those drones from being able to mine several mineral patches, gonna force Zenith to deal with this by moving his probe, his drones around to deal with that. He's got a spawning pool on the way, and looks like HUK has grabbed his first gas and his second gas as well before his cyber core, so it's gonna be some sort of tech heavy build. We'll see what he decides to do in this game. Zerg is letting his money climb quite a bit. He's probably going to be throwing down his expansion nexus or expansion hatchery real soon. We'll see if HUK decides to do something of the same sort. Maybe go for a 3-gate expand with sentries. He's chasing that drone around, probably going to try to get down that cyber core. The drone is being very pesky, going to be blocking that. Drone is get down to 12 HP now. HUK gonna start mining the second gas over here, and a couple of Zerglings are moving out onto the map for HairyZenith, and he's going to be able to secure his natural expansion. So in this matchup, in cross positions, we can see actually pretty long macro games. We'll see if this is something that we see on this map. In this match right now. Zenith is moving along this path over here, gonna be positioning his overlords probably in this black space over here, so that he can scout later on during the game. HUK is going to continue to chrono boost his warp gate out, or no, he's just going to start chrono boosting that warp gate out, going to get his first stalker, also chrono boosting his probes a couple of times. Looks like there's a Zergling trying to spawn up here, but there is a Zealot blocking the way. We'll see if HUK decides to keep chrono boosting. Yep, the more chrono boost going down on the warp gate research, throwing down 2 additional gateways. This is starting to look very much like some sort of 3-gate expand build, and there's a sentry coming out as well. It's being rallied to the front, not too sure why. The overlords are spreading themselves out, and here's the expansion hatchery just about finished. Somebody to love, says LiquidHuK. I wonder if Zenith is going to respond to that. Question mark, says Zenith. No idea. I want somebody to love. Looks like HUK wants a girlfriend. He's asking Zenith for one. Zenith, of course, is probably not going to be able to provide that for him. I don't know what kind of response that is, but there are Zerglings now moving out onto the map. Expansion nexus getting put down right now. HUK does have 1 sentry. He's starting to get a couple more. His warp gate research will be done, so he can warp in a couple more sentries right now. Oh, cancel on the nexus. Great position for Zenith to be in, delaying that expansion nexus immediately. There's a probe going to be moving out again, see if he can build another nexus. The warp gate research is done. We should be warping in a bunch of sentries right now. The Zerglings over here are going to continue to be annoying. Forge going down, and HUK is going to try to get his expansion real soon. Looks like the Zerglings are going to try to take that down. And cancel again. The Zerglings causing quite a bit of annoyance over here. He did lose quite a few Zerglings in this case. So it's not as well. I guess not. This harassment is okay if your entire build wants you to just delay that Nexus by that amount of time, but losing that many Zerglings is not a good idea. However, Zenith is taking the chance to get up his next base. His third base is coming up right now. The Zerglings are going to swing by over here, see if there are any proxy pylons in that position. LiquidHuK is going to start walling off over here. Has got his forge complete, might be throwing down a couple of cannons behind that to be able to guard this expansion. And Zenith is continuing to macro here. We do see a hallucination on the way. He's got a roach warren over here. Do you know KOTH? What's that? I don't know what KOTH is either. Well, hopefully Zenith will tell us what that is all about. That thing again, I don't know what they're talking about. Song? Looks like Huck is just as confused as that is she. Yeah, I have no idea. There is a scouting phoenix coming out onto the field. It's going to be moving in this direction. It's going to be spotting for any expansion. Is going to pass by this overlord, take a couple of shots at that, but that overlord is not going to be injured at all. Girl. So maybe there's... Alright, so I have no idea what they're talking about as of this moment. If anyone wants to explain to me what's going on in the comments, please do so. I have no idea what they're talking about. Hong Kong. Just go, says Huck. Continue playing this game. We've got the Phoenix evaporating over there. Huck has got plenty of sentries. He's also getting the +1 ground weapons. And also throwing up a robotics facility over in this position. That's a little bit strange. He's got a probe moving over there. There's a stalker over here. Might get picked off. No, Huck reinforces that real quickly. Does not want to lose any stalkers like in that fashion. He's going to continue to chrono boost out his, or continue getting his upgrades. We'll see if he decides to get a Twilight Council anytime soon to continue his upgrades. Looks like he's throwing up another expansion nexus. So he's going to be quite a ways ahead if Zenith doesn't do anything about it. Of course, Zerg wants to stay ahead of Protoss in bases, and there's those few Zerglings going to be scouting that expansion out, so Zenith should know that he can actually take a 4th base relatively easily without Huck actually doing too much. As of this moment, he's going to be finishing up that +1 right now. Going to continue to getting those probes. We got the Zerglings over here. Both players are just in a pure macro mode right now. We have the Overlord speed right now, as well as the glial reconstitution for the roaches, going to make them ever so faster. We also have the melee attacks level 1 on the way for Zerg, as well as a second evolution chamber. So both of these players are gearing up for the long term of the game. There's another Phoenix scouting out, going to make sure that his Zerg opponent isn't going to be doing anything too crazy. There's the +1 finished up. We'll see if he decides to get a +1 ground armor real soon. There's a Phoenix going to continue to scout around on the map. There's a Phoenix over here going to be seeing all of these overlords, but not quite going to be doing that much damage to them, as it is a hallucinated Phoenix. Here's a Hydralisk Den coming up for Zenith. He will be able to deal quite well with those stalkers if Huck decides to continue getting those. He's getting out a couple of Immortals right now. He's got one Immortal over here. He's got his expansion up. There's a pylon sort of in the way of this gas, but it shouldn't block that very much. Huck going to be throwing up a couple of gateways in this position. A cannon also. This is going to wall off. This is a very nice wall off, actually. Going to prevent any counterattacks into his 3rd base if he does decide to move out. I believe there's a space over here, but he can easily put a gateway down over there. The creep spread from Zenith is starting to crawl all over the map. There's the 4th base coming up. He probably could have gotten this quite a while ago. He is making a couple of roaches over here. Does not want to die to any aggression by Huck. Huck still no Colossus Den. He's just continuing to make those Immortals. He's getting the +1 ground armor. And here's the Twilight Council coming up for Huck. He's going to be able to get those +2 upgrades for his ground army as soon as that is complete. Also maybe get some charge or blink, as he does have quite a few number of stalkers. Should be getting more as the game progresses on. There's more Immortals just coming out right now. There's another Immortal. HUK is getting quite a few in this game. He's got 3 out on the field right now. Usually as Protoss, we don't see that many Immortals against Zerg unless there's an imminent threat of roaches pounding down the front door. However, Zenith is just continuing to macro, getting every single tech structure in his tree. He's getting a Spire up. He should be probably getting a Infestation Pit soon as well. He's getting Spore Crawlers in his main. We'll see if he's decided to do that over here. Yeah, Spine Crawlers over here as well. His 4th base is complete. Going to be sending some drones over there to mine real soon. HUK going to be content to sit on 4 bases, throwing up a couple of cannons here as well to prevent any attacks. Oh, and a Dark Shrine. Looks like Blink is on the way, and Ground Armor +1 is about finished. And 3 cannons are on the way over here. And there's the Immortal finishing up. We'll see if he decides to get those Colossus immediately after. He does have the Colossus den complete. And it was, you see the creep spread just creeping all the way over here. We'll soon reach HUK's proposed 4th base. Of course, you do want to think about that when you've gotten to this stage in the game. The Phoenixes are doing a great job of just spotting everything that is going on. We'll just take a look at the HUK cam. He knows basically what's everything that's going on over here. He sees everything, the Baneling's nest. He's even got a good idea about that Spire. He sees all of the bases that are coming up. We should probably see Zerg trying to take this base real soon. Zerg is now maxed to HUK's 144. We see over here. But the Zenith, let's take a look at his unit towns. It looks like he's maxed on Roach Baneling, so that's not a very good thing to be maxed on. He's got 32 more Banelings on the way. He's got 80 drones. HUK is also at 82 probes. There's the 5th base coming up for Zenith. He's going to be able to get a couple of macro hatcheries probably, and if he does lose his entire army, he will be able to do quite a bit of damage. Looks like Zenith is loading up his speed overlords with Banelings. We'll see if he decides to do any dropping on the probe lines. That could cause a lot of damage to LiquidHuK in the near future. There's double robotics facilities pumping out Colossi. There's an extended thermal lance finishing up. Double Forge now getting armor +2 and the +2 attack ground weapons for the Protoss army. HUK is going to be mining out of his main base real soon. He's also approaching max. He's moving his army out into the middle of the map. And again, another Scout Phoenix. I really like this play here. It will be able to spot where the Zerg army is. It's like observers that are free, and looks like Zenith is moving his Roach army over here, and HUK knows all about it. He's going to be moving his army into position over here. But it does look like there are overlords in these positions spreading out. There's another overlord over here. This could do tons of damage. Let's open up the income tab. HUK with 85 harvesters over here. And here's the Banelings dropping out of the sky over there. And here's another one at the natural expansion. Oh, the probe's going down. 54 harvesters left. Looks like Zenith's drop over here not as successful. However, HUK is down to 51 harvesters, and here comes the push forward. 2 hallucinated Colossi leading the charge. Looks like there are Banelings inside those overlords going to be moving forward. HUK is going to back out of there. The Banelings dropping out of the sky, carpet bombing the entire Protoss army over there. The sentries down on the ground who can't even see exactly what's going on. The overlords chasing after those units over there, and the bombs drop down on the stalkers, killing all of the sentries as well. The 2 immortals over here getting taken out by those stalkers, but those roaches over there. Of course, the roaches are 75-50 stalkers, or 75-25 stalkers, as some people might say. The immortal does survive with 6 kills and 48 HP. The Colossus also surviving that battle. Looks like HUK has secured some sort of an upper hand in terms of that battle. However, he did lose a lot of probes in that exchange. He's going to have to continue to chrono boost those probes out, maybe transfer a lot of probes over here to get the gold base up and mining, which he is doing right now. There's a Zergling getting roasted over there. The Overlord's going to take a rest over here, not too worried. Maybe take a poop fest also later. We can see that happen over there. Block an expansion for HUK later on as well. There's a Zergling spotting for a possible 4th base. This Overlord's still chilling over here. I guess that Overlord is not too nervous. It's not going to take a dump inside HUK's base. We have over here the gas getting grabbed by HUK. This position could be vulnerable to things like Broodlords, which you see the Greater Spire is about finished. And are there any Corruptors out on the field? There are 11 Corruptors out in the field, so the potential for Broodlords is extremely high. We'll go back to the production tab, and it does look like HUK is at 150 food to the almost max 198 food of HairyZenith, and Zenith is going to be getting some more banelings in the queue. 36 banelings, wow! He's gonna splash away the entire Protoss army with banelings and then attack the rest with broodlords. We'll see if he is successful in doing this. HUK starting to get up his Colossus count. It's going to be quite scary when he does decide to move out with those Colossi. He's gonna get a couple of more photon cannons over here. HUK not trying to get that fifth base over here quite yet. He is going to continue to try to get Max. Going to throw down a couple more cannons to make this expansion a little bit more secure. HUK is grabbing the +3/+3 for his ground army. 2 more Colossus about to spawn. Zenith is moving over here with additional banelings loaded up. He's going to do that carpet bombing again. His Roach is moving forward. Going to see a couple of cannons. The sentries advancing forward. Force fields going down. Going to be able to prevent this Roach army from moving in here. All the banelings dropping down, killing all of the probes over there. Looks like LiquidHuK does hold. No, his Nexus is almost going down. However, he's going to start moving along this path. No observer to take out those creep tumors. Does look like Zenith is backing up right here. Zenith is almost max once again. There it is, max 199 food versus HUK's 159. However, HUK is holding his own quite well. He's going to continue chrono boosting probes over at this location. Also going to be making probes from these Nexi over here. No Dark Templar out on the map yet. I don't think I've seen any. Has there been any Dark Templar? I have no idea. There comes the Overlord's going to be spreading out, going to see what's going on. And there they are. That's the nervousness from the Overlord's going to be taking a dump on the high ground over here. Going to make sure that it's all covered up in crap. So we've got HUK over here throwing down a couple more photon cannons. More stalkers warping in. He is getting the Gravatic boosters. I believe that is the whoa. Broodlord's coming in over here. We'll talk about the Gravatic boosters later. He should be able to take this Nexus down. There is no actual anti-air for these Broodlords over here. The Broodlords can just back up in this direction, taking down that Nexus. The 4th base for HUK is going down right now. So it does look like Zenith is in a great position to actually win this game. Observer is now moving forward. The Overlords with the Banelings are moving forward. And we have the Colossus up front going to be taking out a couple of Roaches. HUK going to take some damage to those Banelings, but there's not that many Banelings. He's going to be continuing to advance forward to those Colossi. Also going to be taking out some creep tumors. The blink being used on the Broodlords over here. Will those Broodlords go down? Zenith is trying to back them up. Blink again on top of the Broodlords. The Broodlords getting taken out there. Only 4 left over. Going to be trying to continue to take out those Stalkers over here. The Colossus just roasting away all of those broodlings over there. HUK gonna be backing up with his Immortal and his Sentry over here. Gonna be coming over here and trying to take out these Overlords so that he can take another base. In the meantime, we have the ground at Carapace level 3 as well. The missile attacks +3 on the way for Zerg. 12 more Zerglings in the production queue. Again, Zerg is max, and he's even in a red food count. He's got to get a couple of more Overlords up in order to continue his 300 food pushing. There's the pylon coming up. Looks like the Stalkers in this position are taking out all of the Overlords in this area. Going to make sure that no more dumping is in his possible 5th base. He's getting up his 4th base real soon. The creep is still blocking it just a little bit. We should see that going down as soon as HUK has enough minerals. As of this point, HairyZenith is in such a good position. He's got his 5th base up and running. He's got a 3K in the bank. He's going to be advancing forward. However, his unit composition isn't exactly the best thing. It's just all Roaches and Banelings. Going to continue trying to bust the Protoss army. HUK over here with 8 Colossi going to be advancing forward. The blink being blunk back, and the Banelings should be dropping down real soon all over those Colossi. However, the Roaches are getting roasted away. The Colossi do survive that battle. This guy's an Executor. 23 kills, 24 kills on this guy, 26 kills, and 28 kills. Those Colossi are heroes of the Protoss army. However, the Broodlords have snuck their way over here. Blink being used. Zenith is going to lose another Broodlord. However, those Broodlords do outrange those Stalkers. But if they do advance too far forward, they can get Blunk on top of and taken out. Zenith might lose that Broodlord over there. No, not quite. Does back up just far enough. He's taking the gold base for himself in the center of the map. Now getting out some Infestors. Those are great choice to use against this Mass Stalker army. They do 30% extra damage against armored units. There's more sentries warping in right now. Looks like the blink being used again. Not quite in range of those broodlords yet again. Quite frustrating to deal with as the Protoss player right now. HUK is getting the shields +1 as well as a Stargate to be able to deal with those broodlords. Maybe get some Void Rays Phoenix out onto the map. Looks like both players are content to sit back for a moment. Zenith is now 4K. He can get Ultralisks out in the field. Maybe get Ultralisk Broodlord as his composition. We see more Colossus on the way for HUK right now. We'll see what Zenith decides to do. He's got his army over here. Let's take a look at the unit composition. We got 58 probes and 80 drones. So, I guess Zenith isn't all that far ahead in terms of army count just because HUK has fewer probes. That means a larger army. We can take a look at the army tab. Let's take a look in, see, army supply, 131 for HUK and 109 for Zenith. So, it is going to favor HUK if there is a clash of the armies. We'll go back to production. We have the Void Rays out on the field, or on the way right now, getting loaded up right now. Zenith is going to be going for some sort of doom drop inside HUK's main. However, there's only 2 gateways in here. Most of the tech structures are out here. LiquidHuK might have to rebuild that cyber core. There comes the drop down. The Roach is getting pooped into the main. These 2 cannons have no chance. The main Nexus is going to go down as well. HUK's units are just streaming in this direction. Is going to try to hold down the main. Looks like additional Roaches are moving over here. A couple of Colossi on the high ground going to be roasting away those Roaches right now. Can Zenith catch those 2 Colossi off guard? There come the Roaches, one-shotting that Colossus. Second Colossus going down. Zenith is at 3-3 upgrades as with HUK. The Colossi just doing tons of damage. 35 kills on that Colossus, 39. Again, 33 and 32 on these Colossus. Now the Dark Templar out in the field, going to be smashing a couple of Roaches in the face. I believe Dark Templar do, wow, 60 damage in 1 hit. There come the Roach counterattack. See if he can take out this expansion. If he can take that expansion down, it will be in big trouble for HUK. However, he does have those hero Colossi in this position. Should be able to take those Roaches down, no problem. The Blink Micro getting used by HUK. All of those Roaches getting roasted away, not a problem. HUK just smashing that in the face. More Stalkers just streaming in this position. Zenith is now making 14 Mutalisks. Does he have any more Mutalisks out on the field? There's a couple of Mutalisks over here. He's going to be going mass Mutalisk. What's the upgrades on those? 2-1 right now. He's going to be getting out the Zerg Carapace level 2 for those right now. The Mutalisks are moving over here, going to harass this expansion. Wow, that's a lot of Mutalisks. Let's take a look at the unit counting tab. That is 36 Mutalisks to deal with for HUK right now. This could mean a lot of trouble. Mutalisks in such large numbers are very good against Stalkers, actually. The bouncing of the glaive rooms, especially with this high upgrades and so many Colossus out on the field. We'll see how much damage Zenith can actually do. He's going to continue moving over here. See if he can take out some over here. HUK is going to be getting up 2 assimilators right now. Not much in production as he is max. We'll see if he decides to get out some Templar to deal with this. I see that as the only logical choice. Zenith is just taking out production facilities all over the place. HUK is going to have to remake his cyber core. Losing his main right now. However, his main doesn't have much in here. The Overlords are going to be taking a dump in that position right now. We've got the Mutalisks over here just raping this natural expansion. Going to be taking out those both cannons, all the probes, possibly even all of these tech structures. That could be very bad for HUK. Meanwhile, HUK is in this position over here, going to be taking out the gold expansion. The Mutalisks chasing after those Colossi. She should back that up. A couple of army units over here out of position. Stalker's moving forward, going to be taking out a couple of Mutalisks over here. However, Zenith has his huge Mutaball over here. Blink being used. Can he take out all of those Mutalisks? Zenith is losing quite a few units over there. Looks like the Muta count has declined to 30. The Blink getting used again. Losing a couple of Mutalisks over there. Looks like those Mutas are unable to take out the Stalker army. Zenith getting supply capped. No, that was HUK getting supply capped again. Looks like Zenith is also going to be losing a ton of Overlords over here. There's also an Observer in the air. The Colossi backing up the Mutalisks, trying to take down those Colossus. There's an Executor Colossus over here. Is 49 kills. This one 46 kills. However, they are going down very quickly to those Mutalisks, looks like the Stalkers are just in time to save these two guys over here. 40 kills and 40 kills. Not quite as epic as the other two. Zerg needs to start securing this expansion. He's mining out all over the place. The Immortals also taking out this expansion over here. Everything is going on all at the same time. Looks like the Mutalisks over here are going to take out those Immortals very easily. Zenith over here also mined out at his 5th. He's mined out at his 3rd. HUK actually still has a fully mining expansion over here, as well as another expansion over here. HUK is in such a great position if he can just hold off those Mutalisks. However, Zerg still has 4,000 in the bank, but he can only make Zerglings with that. All of his money is invested in these Mutalisks. If he loses those Mutalisks, it will be GG. He's got 52 Mutalisks in the sky. HUK just needs to get one amazing storm, or a couple of amazing storms out onto those Mutalisks, and it will be GG. All he can make are Zerglings after that. There's 174 food for our Zerg player and 137 food for HUK. This is getting amazing right now. I've never seen a PvZ matchup like this. There's so many Mutalisks, but HUK is still holding his ground. Here come the Mutalisks, going to be taking out a Forge over here. There's the Stalkers. Blink Micro getting used. However, it doesn't look like he has that many Stalkers in this mix right now. Looks like Zenith is deciding to back up after seeing all of those reinforcements. Still 52 Mutalisks in the sky. Zenith retaking the gold base over here. Going to be moving his Mutalisk army over here in this position. We'll see if he's able to do tons of damage to this expansion. HUK's army is just too slow to catch up. Looks like all of these cannons are going to go down. Maybe even pick off a Nexus. Those Mutalisks are 2-2 right now. Here come the Stalkers. Zenith is going to back out of here, though. 49 Mutalisks left over. More Stalkers getting warped in right now. There are Archons out on the field. Those should be able to do lots of spell ash damage against those Mutas. There come the Mutas again, and moving into the space. Blink getting used. Zenith is going to back out of here once again. The Stalkers being great defenders over here. A couple of Zerglings in this position. These two Archons are going to be taking out a ton of Zerglings. The Colossus moving into this position as well, going to be roasting all of those Zerglings away. The Mutalisks advancing in this position again. He's got tons of Zerglings out onto the field, but still not quite max. The Mutalisks moving over here. What can HUK do to counter these Mutas? He's got basically max on those Stalkers. Well, no, not max. He's got supply caps because he's losing pylons left and right. Here's the Blink Micro being used by HUK. The Stalkers getting taken out quite easily. However, Zenith losing a lot of Mutalisks in that exchange. 50 Mutalisks now down to 32. 20 lost in that exchange. Let's take a look at the units lost. Protoss is ahead by 6,000 resources lost. However, Zerg is having his gold base starting to mine right now. HUK has still got this base fully mining over here. He's even got his additional gateways coming up as well. Does he have any Templar archives? There's the Templar archives. It does have the Storm research. The Mutos over here getting taken out. Let's take a look at how many are left. 26 left, 35 Stalkers. HUK is holding very well. Zenith is actually behind on food for probably the first time in this game. HUK is doing quite well right now. 138 food to 118. Zerg over here is going to continue massing some Zerglings. We've got 30 Zerglings in the production queue. 3 more of those Mutalisks. However, his production is going to be running low right now. He's got very little gas. No gas being mined at this expansion over here. Going to be throwing that up right away. He's oversaturated over here. He's got not much mining at his 4th base. He's going to be backing up with his Mutalisks. Looks like HUK is advancing forward with just a ton of Stalkers. We have his Templar now warping in. There's this still Colossi out in the field. This guy has been alive for forever. He is the grandpa of this army. Looks like the Mutalisks are advancing over here. The cannons doing plenty of damage. One-shotting a Mutalisk over there. Looks like Zenith is wisely going to back up. Zealots now being made. That's a lot of Templar. There's that Colossus. 9,800 kills right now. 102. He's got all the experience in the world. Going to be roasting away Zerglings for forever. 332 upgrades for Protoss right now. Those thermal lances do 42 damage with those double swipes, taking out Zerglings instantaneously. It looks like HUK is advancing forward, wants to end this game as soon as possible. We've got the Templar also trailing behind. This game has been going on for 40 whole minutes. Looks like HUK is in position to take out this gold base. As soon as this goes down, Zerg has no choice but to GG. He's only got 700 minerals left in the bank. This base is going down rapidly. The Templar also reinforcing that Colossi now with 103 kills. Where is Zerg's army? Let's take a look. He's got Corruptors on the way. He's got 25 Mutalisks in the air. 27 drones only to HUK's 50. Oh, this is such a horrible position to be in as the Zerg player. Looks like the Mutalisks are going to be doing a lot of damage over here, but HUK can just back up part of his army, do some storming, and be completely okay. Zenith is also going to lose his 4th base. His 5th base is also vulnerable, but there's only 1 mineral patch left over here. This expansion is going down. Looks like the Mutalisks over here are going to be taking out a couple of buildings, losing his 3rd base, but HUK still has these 2 fully mining bases. More cannons coming up for HUK. Looks like the 5th base is going down for Zenith. And we'll see what the response is. HUK is also grabbing the gold expansion in the center. These Templar don't quite have storm yet, but as soon as those Mutalisks come over here, he should have just enough to storm those Mutalisks away. Looks like some Templar are backing up, should be able to defend very easily. HUK over here also backing up with his main Stalker army. The Mutalisks doing still tons of damage over here. Let's take a look at the resources lost. Have Zerg still behind, but HUK is losing all of his production over here. He's going to have to get a couple more pylons in this position to be able to max out his army. He's going to park some Colossi, some Templar over here in this position. He knows that he needs to hold down that gold base. Looks like Zerg is expanding to this dead broke expansion. Only got 200 minerals each. The Mutals over here are going to continue to take out production facilities by HUK. But it doesn't matter. HUK's army is just so much bigger. 83 food for Zerg and 173 for Protoss. Looks like Zenith is getting pushed back by all of these Stalkers over here. Even the Templar getting tons of energy. Where are those Templar over here? There they are. Looks like the hatchery has been canceled. The Zerg units are backing up over here. HUK is probably looking to do one final push right now. He's got a Templar on max energy right now. Tons of storms to be able to be used. There are the Broodlords in this position again. HUK, does he have any anti-air over here? Those Broodlords can find a sweet spot in the center. Looks like the Broodlings are taking out plenty of probes, but HUK's army is just so much bigger. The Broodlords trying to get taken out by those Stalkers right now. However, they've found their sweet spot. Looks like there are going to be Void Rays on the field real soon. Can HUK hold on? There's a blink being used, but it looks like those Broodlords not quite able to do as much damage. However, it is keeping HUK from killing him, which is something very good to be able to do. There's that Colossus over here, 107 kills. Blink being used again. Looks like those Broodlords are going to continue to back up over here. There's the Observer advancing forward. Where's that first Void Ray? There it is on the way. Is HUK chrono boosting it? No, not quite. He needs to chrono boost that so that he can hold his expansion over here. Zenith, 81 food. These Broodlords are his last hope. He's just mining over here. He's not making much else. There's the first Void Ray coming out. Looks like Zenith is going to lose all of his Broodlords. Even the Stalkers moving over here again. Looks like the Void Ray deciding to shoot a Broodling instead. Looks like HUK is going to start focus firing on that. And the Void Ray is now charged. These Broodlords have no chance whatsoever. HUK is starting to move out with his army over here. That Void Ray is going to clean that up. It's even got the 2 shield because of the shield upgrades. Looks like that Colossus over here. Storm's going down. All of those Mutas just taking the hits. Storming himself. LiquidHuK. Oh, man. Blinking out of there. GG calls Zenith. And this game goes to LiquidHuK. 46 minutes of PvZ. How exciting. Oh, we hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy this cast, please subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/AegisStarcraft2. Thank you for tuning in. This is Aegis signing off.